Hey guys, how are you today? I hope you guys are all having a good day or night. Not sure the time you guys are getting to watch this, but so that's why I can't refer to day and night completely. So guys, let's get into the preview of the semi-finals of the Madrid Open or the Madrid Masters 1000. First, I'd be foolish before I talk about the semi-final to not talk about Nadal's loss, right? Now, what we had in this situation is we had the Madrid Open, which is at altitude, which is Nadal's best of the clay court events. Hasn't won it since 2017. Um, so really, for him to win it, he would have to be in a position of, I would say, at his absolute best. Right? It's possible, but it's tough, and he would have to beat his absolute best. So he just wasn't there yet, I would say. So what happened really was, like I said, the Madrid Open, it's about the speed of a slower hard court, not like your normal clay speed due to altitude, which makes it quite a significant bit faster. Um, so there's that, and then there's the fact that Nadal would have to be his absolute best. And then if he is at his best, he can win it. But if he's not at 100%, it's going to be much harder to win it at Madrid, as opposed to those other clay court events, right? So now let's look at another factor, right? It was 27 degrees Celsius or around 80 Fahrenheit during that match, right? So even on the sea level events, like if you're at Roland Garros at that temperature, it's going to be like, especially with the old Babolat ball, sea level, it's going to be like almost like a slow hard court when it's that hot and the sun's shining, not even hot and overcast. So there's that one factor um, with the match, right? So then like you're on sea level, it's hot, it's almost going to be playing like Madrid when it's cool. But Madrid doesn't need heat because it's altitude. It's already at that fast due to altitude. But then when you add one factor, the altitude, already making it quite different than the other courts and a place that he doesn't normally win, then you make it hot, 27 Celsius, 80 Fahrenheit, right? And the sun shining. Well, that would make the sea level events almost play like altitude. But now you already have altitude, like it's hot at the ball's traveling at that speed as though it's hot at sea level. Doesn't need any heat. It's already that quick due to altitude. But then when you have the combination of the heat, which would make the sea level event faster, and the altitude with no heat needed, that'll make it that quick. And then you have altitude, and it's already quick without any heat, and then you play in that altitude on a hot day together. Now it's not even going to play anything like a clay court event. If you have both, you have altitude and heat and sun. So and then like if you have a player who's playing Nadal who doesn't have much, let's say Demonol all the way David Ferrer, they don't have power on their shot, so it's not going to impact Nadal's game playing in altitude and playing in hot weather. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah. So but then the altitude plus the heat together, what that's going to create is going to be clearly about the speed of a slow court, just say a slow hard court, I'd say the speed of the US Open. Maybe not the US Open if it was the day and they had that kind of heat. I would say the US Open on a night session, right? Typical, like just picture like last year night session. So that's basically with the altitude speeding it up and then the heat speeding up even more. It basically was playing more like US Open, possibly Indian Wells, maybe Indian Wells in a day session, but not like a clay court. So this gives you the opportunity to do things against Nadal on clay. If you're a baseline player with not a huge amount of power, it's not going to help you a lot. But if you're a big guy, tall with a big serve, Now you have a chance to do what you would do on Nadal on a hard court. Use your serve, attack, shorten the point. You're now able to get through his defense, right? Um, on the rally shots and take his time away. So you can. It's not like you need to let normally on clay hit 3, 4, 5 shots just to get past his defense that are of quality. Just one will go through the court and take his time away. You don't have to like. He's not putting you in a position where you need to rally just to hold serve because he's getting back all your balls and forcing you. No, you can win off the serve. You can get short balls completely set up the point. You can go for it and shorten the point and get through his defense, take his time away, get the ball through the court, and Nadal's got no time to set up for his forehand. So with altitude and heat together, we're at about a US Open court speed here in Madrid. If it's a cold day, it could possibly be where it's only a small difference from the other clay courts, but still different. But this, it's clearly like a hard court conditions on this day. And then you've got Zverev, not a guy without power who it's not going to matter much. A guy who is hitting the ball with power, fast, getting through the court, wanting to shorten the points, wanting to take time away. But you can't do that on a slower clay court because you need to hit 3, 4, 5 shots, and then they're going to go for too much and make errors. And also, you need to get the ball through the court so Nadal doesn't have time to set up, hit forehands, and run around forehands. You can do that on grass and hard court, but not clay. But Madrid with heat, you can do what you would do on a hard or a grass court. So it's a perfect setup where the court's at the speed of a hard court, and then you've got a power guy with a big serve attacking, shortening the points, playing as though it's a hard court, enabling him to have his serve, to have 3 points, to have it where when Nadal's getting back, it's a short ball, he's got control. And then in the rally, you can get past Nadal's defense. You don't have to hit all these great shots just to end the point. Just one shot is going to get through the defense. And then also you're hitting the ball with speed, so Nadal doesn't have time to attack to set up on the forehand because the ball's traveling through the court. So he has no time, like he usually does on clay, to set up for a big forehand. With the combination of Zverev with the attacking, the power game, the altitude, and the heat. So Nadal doesn't have time to set up of his forehand, can't run around the backhand, hit forehand, can't play great defense and make you hit 4, 5, 6 shots, and then Zverev is using these conditions, acting like a hard court, um, by quickening up even more with serving huge and attacking and going for the lines and taking even more time away. So now Nadal's defensive game's taken away, can't run around, hit forehands, doesn't have time to set up to even hit his forehand, and Zverev is just playing it perfectly, except for sort of early in the second set. And then when you add the conditions, the Zverev's games made the conditions worse because it's about serving big, hitting the ball fast, taking time away, and maximizing the heat plus the altitude. And now it's nothing like Nadal. Like I said, Nadal can't really get in rallies. No time to set up forehands. Can't ask them to hit 5, 7 great shots to end a rally. Just one is good enough. They're getting 3 points. One good shot is ending the rally. One good serve is ending it. They're getting all these 3 points off serves, all these things that doesn't usually happen on clay. And just the fact is, whatever court it is, Zverev is playing at a high level and doing the high level in the right way by, like I said, shortening the points and not letting Nadal in rallies, not letting him have time to set up forehands and being able to get it with his power in the fast conditions, getting it through the court. So what happens now is everything's against Nadal. The heat, the altitude, the speed of the court, the fact that Zverev is hitting the ball at a very fast, quick speed, everything is against him. And then just Zverev is playing at a great level, whatever it is. To add to all of that, Nadal is playing at a poor level, his poorest level in clay or any surface. So that is all a recipe for disaster. And that's why Nadal lost. Also, what I'm saying is Nadal, one thing I've got to say about him is like I said, he only win in altitude, even if it's not hot, if he's at his absolute best. And you could see his previous clay court season at sea level. He didn't win at Monte Carlo, so he wasn't good enough. Most of Barcelona, he's still finding his form coming off 5 months where he's only played one tournament, the Australian Open. So even at sea level, he's not at his best level. Sort of the semi-final and final of Barcelona, he was finding his best level, but he's only just getting there, and then he's got 10 days off, and then he's still trying to find his way back to that level. That level's nowhere near good enough to win in Madrid at altitude. He would have to be his absolute 10 out of 10 level on clay to say, even if you put me at altitude, you can't beat me. But if he's at sea level, he's struggling, he's just only finding his game, and then he's got to start again off a 10-day break, quite far from his best on clay at sea level. Then you throw him onto altitude, then suddenly he's got no chance. But then if you throw him on altitude under hot weather, when it's nothing like clay in any way, speed wise, then he's got completely zero chance. And then you have Zverev attacking, shortening the points, maximizing the fastness of the court to go against Nadal for his serve, attacking, power, shortening the point. Then Nadal's got really no chance. And then Nadal just happens to have one of his worst days on that day, then the disaster. So you got Zverev. That's how I see Zverev really winning this in straight sets. But is it an issue for the French Open for Nadal? I say no, because like the two losses are extenuating circumstance. Monte Carlo is his first tournament in 5.5 months, right? You can't expect anyone on any court to be at their best. So then if you take off that and say that's not really relevant for the French Open, the end of the clay court season, then you take the other loss, Madrid, especially Madrid when it's hot. He loses at Madrid most years and wins the French Open. So you know that's not relevant. The only one that looks more relevant is to say now Barcelona. Now it's his second tournament back. He's found rhythm. He's playing at sea level in similar conditions of the French Open, and it's not a first tournament back, and he wins. So to me, it seems like it either needs to be at altitude to cause the loss, or his first tournament in 5 months. But when he's put back-to-back tournaments in, he's found rhythm, and he's got on sea level, similar to Roland Garros. He's only been in that once, Barcelona, and he's won. At Rome, he'll have 3 tournaments. He'll have the match fitness. He'll have the time to build his game and be really ready at Rome, and then he'll be sea level, similar to Roland Garros. So then he's got no excuse. He doesn't have the first tournament back like Monte Carlo saying, I can't win anywhere, or he doesn't have the altitude where the two losses have been, similar to Barcelona. But if he loses in Rome, that'll be more concerning, and that would have more impact on Roland Garros. But not losing in your first tournament in 5.5 months at Monte Carlo, or not losing at altitude in heat, where it's nothing like what you would get at the French Open. Those two losses, I think you throw them out as far as the French Open. But Barcelona and then Rome, I think you really take those two. Barcelona is one, Rome, we haven't had that. So that would be concerned if he lost there, but not the first tournament in 5 months or the second tournament after the Australian Open, or not at altitude, especially in heat, and Zverev playing so well. So let me just preview the semi-finals for you now. We saw Madrid. We saw Berrettini's beat Garin, and that was to be expected. But it is 6-love in the end. Rudd beat Bublik. Rudd's one of the top 10 players on clay. You know, you'd expect that. Thiem was down against Isner and had to come back. So I think Thiem, he's been out for so long. Look, he was not playing well at the start of the year. Then he was out. So you can't expect him to beat his best here, first tournament back. Especially he's got the 7 weeks off. And even before the 7 weeks, he's got a low level of tennis, right? So I just think you can't expect him to be his best, and he hasn't been his best. He was hot, and the first match he was quite good. De Minaur, he was hot and cold. He was cold a lot against the start against Isner, but then he found his level, so just enough. And sort of right at the end of the match, his game started to click. I would say Isner. No, sorry, Thiem, but he's been up and down. But the best part would have been the end of that Isner match. But most of the tournament, he's been inconsistent, playing like a guy who played poorly at the start of the year, had no confidence, then just quit and went into a 7-week break. He's been playing like that. Inconsistent, trying to find his game, because, like I said, last time he played, no confidence. then going from no confidence to not playing at all and just really starting from zero, trying to find his game. And he's looked for like someone trying to find his game, inconsistent, but he's getting somewhere. But didn't look good against Isner, but at the end he sort of found his game. He's got the win there. So Isner, sorry. Themes beat Isner, and he's found his game at the end of the Isner match there. I went for the Nadal one. Berrettini won with the power game, taking the time away. And then Bublik and Rudd, you'd expect Rudd, top 10 clay court player, to beat Bublik. So now we're going to have first semi-final, Theme against Zverev. I would say the level that Zverev has produced to beat Nadal in straight sets. He won his first 2 rounds in straight sets. He's looking close to his absolute best, whereas Thiem is inconsistent up and down, finding his game. So I would really say, like, one guy is consistent at his highest level, the other guy's up and down. Like I said, poor level at the start of the year. So then he was far from his best, and then 7-week break. So he's got the combination thing. Last time I played, I was far from my best and struggling. But since then, I haven't played. So worst situation. No form, no momentum, no confidence, and then a break. So he's got to deal with turning it around, the bad start to the year, but also not playing. And he's finding his game, but he's still inconsistent. Zverev's at his best level. He's beaten Nadal. It's going to be even hotter for this semi-final. They're playing the day match, so it'll be even faster. So, and then Thiem, a similar type of game, has big forehand and backhand strokes, but needs time to really set up the forehand. So just in the way that you can take Nadal's time away by using your serve and attacking and shortening points on a fast court, and then he can't set up for his big shots. Thiem's the same way, and it's going to be even faster because it'll be even hotter. So this same style of game will be even more effective against Thiem due to the fact that it'll be even hotter and even faster, and Thiem may even have even bigger strokes. So I think he'll use his serve, he'll attack, he'll shorten the point. Thiem won't be able to get in rallies, he won't find rhythm. He'll take Thiem's time away. Thiem won't have time to set up to big forehands with Zverev big serve, attacking, shortening the point, and even faster conditions in his Nadal match. And he'll just be too good for Thiem. I'll give Thiem a set, but I'm going to say, like, Zverev serve, attacking, shortening the point, fast conditions, even hotter than the Nadal match. Him playing consistently at his best level. Thiem still finding it. He shortens points with his serve, attacking game in the rally, takes Thiem time away. Thiem doesn't have time to set up on the forehand. And Thiem's level still inconsistent. Zverev's at his best anyway. So I'm going to say Zverev's going to get that in 3 sets, and Zverev will be into the final. So then we're now going to have Rudd against Berrettini. Even though it's a night match, because it's quite hot, it could still be fast conditions. I think Berrettini, with the bigger serve, the bigger power game, he's going to take Rudd's time away, and Rudd's going to want to get in rallies, want to have time to set up forehand. Berrettini, with his serve and his huge power, he'll frustrate Rudd, and Rudd will never be able to get rhythm, never be able to get into rallies, long rallies, and find his rhythm and find his game. He won't really have time to set up and hit the forehand. And Berrettini's going to say, I won't give you rallies. I won't give you rhythm. You'll never be able to get in those long rallies. Find your rhythm in the rallies. Find your game. You'll never find it because there'll never be rallies. I'll shorten the point. I'll take time away. And you won't really have time to set up and use your big forehand. Due to the faster court and my extreme power, you will be short of time to set up your forehand. So Berrettini, I'm going to say he's going to win. Again, I'm going to give this a free setter. So I'm going to say Berrettini and Zverev will be in your final here. But like, really, when I'm looking at this, both times it's going to be Berrettini's serve power game, taking time away, not allowing Rudd into rallies, not allowing him to find rhythm, not allowing time to set up the forehand. And Zverev against Thiem, it's going to be hotter. It's going to be the day. Zverev's going to just play the way he did against Nadal. He's consistent, won every set. Thiem's finding his game, so he's a step ahead. And he's going to use his serve, and he's going to attack, and he's going to shorten the point, and Thiem will never get in rallies too. He'll never find rhythm, And because the ball's traveling so fast with Zverev really attacking, going for it, taking risks, and it being a fast court, he won't have time to really set up and use his forehand. So with Thiem not being able to get in rallies and find rhythm, that's going to be difficult. With Zverev really using the serve and attacking in the rallies and going for it, and not have time to set up and use his forehand, and he's not really at his best. He's up and down anyway, and just struggling to find it. Whereas Zverev's at his best. I think both it'll be the guy with the biggest serve, attacking, shortening the point, taking time away from their opponents, and not letting Rudd and Thiem have time to set up and really use their forehands. But both are going to be free sets. So Rudd takes it in a third set. Casper Rudd, no, sorry. Berrettini takes Casper Rudd in the free sets. And then Zverev takes Thiem in three sets. And we're left with Berrettini and Zverev in your Madrid Open final, with Berrettini beating Casper Ruud in free sets and Zverev beating Thiem in straight sets, and a Berrettini Alexander Zverev Madrid Masters final. Guys, be back for my video tomorrow. I'm going to be previewing the Madrid Masters final, so be here for that one. So be here for that one. Also, I'm going to be interviewing Roger Federer really soon, so be here for that video too. I'll let you know. It's going to be very, very soon. So for my Madrid Masters final tomorrow, plus my interview with Roger Federer, be there for that. So to watch these videos and many more coming up and in the past, subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up. Have a great day, night, wherever you are. And yeah, please, you'll love your subscription to this channel, and just give me the thumbs up, the bell notification. Be back here tomorrow for my Madrid Masters final preview. Bye for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys. Thanks for being with me.